Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. And let's see who we have here. We've got whopping two people here. Okay. Well, this wasn't the scheduled live stream, anyhow. I just wanted to do this before I go on my hike. And since I thought, what better than just spending some time with you guys? So, who do we have here? We have AA, double A. We have a battery here. Looking for triple A. Says, I've liked girls always. HOCD has made me pay attention to stuff like this I've never done before. Or if I did, I could ignore. Now it's really hard, and me thinking it looks nice makes me feel like proof. Yeah, it's nonsense. That's what the brain does. Brain is very powerful to make you think that you are the brain, and what brain says is defining you. But once you realize that brain is an organ, is an apparatus, it has a job like any other organ does. Your liver has to make some enzymes and do certain kind of tasks. Your kidney purifies the blood and gets rid of some other toxins and all the things that it needs to do. And brain has a job too, which is making thoughts. But brain doesn't know what thought is really making, what it is for, what's intended. It makes thoughts to create that occupation and busyness in itself through which it finds security. Because brain doesn't have a place in the body and doesn't have a place to call home, to hang his hat. So it's constantly like a gypsy all around, going everywhere. A minute, a second, in a second, it's in the past 2 years ago, what happened. And 2 seconds later, it's thinking about what's going to happen with his exam next week. And what about the date he or she had 3 weeks ago? What about the money he has to pay for his bills tomorrow? What about the stuff that he has to do next year, next month, 2 months ago, right this minute? All these makes the brain be scattered all around and have no focus, no presence. But the brain itself want to feel secure, and it can't feel secure by being scattered all around. The way for it to not be scattered all around is to be focused on something. And that something is attained by creating busyness, occupation in itself. How can it do that? Not by complimenting you about things that you agree with and that is your identity and you're fine with it, such as, oh, you're a good looking guy and all the girls like you and you like girls. So, yeah, great. Thank you very much. That's the end of the conversation. It doesn't create business for the brain. It's a second of a opinion, and that's agreed upon, and therefore it's the end of conversation. But brain needs occupation. For that, it has to say something that it makes you pissed off, that you disagree with it, because disagreement brings detail, brings combativeness, brings argument, brings debating, not agreeing. So it always comes up with something that is opposite you, that you rise and you try to defend yourself and question its merits and question its judgment and so on and so forth. So it goes on things and saying things that pisses you off, that is totally not you. And then you, knowing that is so important to you, your inclination, your identity, your sexual orientation, you try to defend the uttering and the suggestion that was made that is out of line, in your opinion, for your programming. And then you start arguing with it, getting angry with it, and occupies your mind. Try to data hunt it. Why would brain such a thing say such a thing? As if the brain is knowledgeable about you, or as if its brain, as if its brain is intellect center. There's no such thing. And in the video that I made, that you're not the brain, brain is not you, using all the experiments of the brilliant neurosurgeons such as Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Leibet, and explain how they have proven in the era of the modern science what Aristotle said 1,000 years ago, that there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot reach. And that sets the brain outside of you as a apparatus, as an organ, not as you. Therefore, what brain utters, it's irrelevant to you. It's doing its job, makes 80, 90,000 thoughts a day, and none of them are relevant to you. You're beyond the brain. You're the judge. You're the master. You're the owner. You're the one who foresees, and you're the one who oversees all these activities of your body parts, including the brain. You judge the thought and the suggestion, the images that the brain produces, not to take them as, oh, they're necessary for me. That defines me. So I have to listen to what the brain suggests and says and how brain defines me. No, you define you because you're not the brain and brain is not you. You're the awareness. And that is what judges the brain and brain's activities and suggestions, thoughts, and images. When you remember that, then you're not bothered by all these nonsense or you're not confused by it. I have many videos that have explained all these interpretation of thoughts that shows up in an OCD brain. And I have a playlist that talks about the proving, and I've proved it beyond the shadow of the doubt and backed it by science and research in neuroscience and psychology and so on, that you can see the modern science have proven that you're not the brain and brain is not you. Therefore, what the brain says is irrelevant to you. That's how you should look at it. All right, having said all that, yeah, of course it is, because you like the body part that you have and you consider it nice. And anything else that you see of other male genders, it represents to you a camaraderie, or it represents to you a nemesis, as if it limits your chances with the girls in case they're better looking people, or they're more fit, or their muscles are bigger, or whatever you're referring to, the private part is bigger or thicker, and it makes you feel as if you are envying, or you find it as an infringement of your chances with the girls. So that, and the fact that it's maybe the fitter person or better looking person in your eyes, or got a bigger muscle of this kind or that kind, makes you feel as if you have to admit that that is a better looking muscle or bigger thing. Therefore, that realization makes you feel as if you have to respect it, because in actuality is fitter than yours in a way. And therefore, that realization of respect makes the brain run with it and say, oh, see, you like it. Oh, see, you're interested in it in a sexual way, rather than that is how we look at the others, as a competition, as someone who stands between us and our chances with the girls. So since we have muscles ourselves, since we know what we use our muscles for, we have respect for it, we go to the gym to train it. So when we see somebody fitter or bigger muscle, or however you're describing it, you feel a certain kind of admiration or respect for that, which you yourself use it in the pursuit of, your desires for sex with women. And therefore you have certain kind of a respect and appreciation for that what you see, and then the brain runs with it and changes its narrative and makes it as if you have any sexual interest in that person, rather than interpreting these thoughts as I just did. All right. You can find all these discussions in much more elaborate manner on my site, on my channel. And here I can only cut through it short and not elaborate too much, because that's not the setting for a heavy, detailed consultation. But you guys can always go to my site, mind.seekstruth.com, mind.seekstruth.com. Make an appointment for a Skype consultation, and I'll add another 30 minutes for a first new clients, and we'll have ample time to discuss what's concerning you one on Skype. And we have Sid here. Says, hello, Mehran. Male 33, Manchester. Thank you for that. Oh, 34. He says, all right, you grew 1 year in 1 minute, didn't you? Aftar says, hi, Mehran, 40, male, UK. Hello, Aftar. And Aftar says, today I've made a commitment to move on from my ex and not let myself get drowned by memory. Thank you for your help, Mehran. I can see the light. Good. Excellent. Focus on that as your beacon and continue your journey. You guys have to realize you're giving so much importance. While women are very important, must be protected and respected at all times, even against your own desires and selfishness, you got to protect her. But at the same time, you got to realize that the power source behind the importance of the woman for you is your desire for them. You take that desire away, the same woman is no longer important to you, and you can easily move on and, see what's fitting for your life, other opportunities, whether you're academic or professional or romantic opportunities that you pursue another woman. But when you get so hung up on a woman who you were in a relationship and broke up with one way or another, you tend to think that was it. That's the only woman I should be. But that is not true. If you focus on the existence of that biological entity, you will see that there's really nothing that's so special about her by her own, on her own, if you don't have any desire for her. So it's really not that she's done amazing, great things for the universe and for the nature, for the well being of humanity that has made her so special. She's so special because she's sought after, because you have this programming for procreation, your desire for pleasure and intimacy. And that when you hone on that particular woman that somehow you're interested in and you're in a relationship with, when she breaks up, you have a hard time breaking up because you haven't broken up your desire for her, which is the power source of why she's powerful. You cut that out, no woman is really powerful. The power source is you. You think the power source is her, and she's got so much power that you cannot resist. But that what you think she's irresistible is actually is being generated, its power is being generated by your hunger, your desire for intimacy with her. Take that desire away, unwant her, and unleash that desire on other beautiful women who wish to have a relationship with you rather than this one who doesn't want to be with you. So it's not a mystery. You're in control of that if you want to. But you think all the energy you spend with creating this story with her, this memories with her, you don't want to let that go because that feels to be your identity. You created something in that span of time, and you don't want to let go because you think you are the memory. You are what you have made memory of. And you don't want to let go because you think if I let that go, that means I'm not complete anymore. It's all bullshit. Whatever memory you've made was for that moment that you were making it and enjoying it. Otherwise, once it's done, is no longer in existence. That memory is dead. That past is dead. That memory is just an echo. It's not reality. And you want to live in reality and actuality of life. For that reason, you got to create new memories at the moment. And once that memory is made, just like any other memory, is dead again. And don't try to preserve that memory by constantly keeping what has created that memory in the past alongside of you forever, even though she doesn't want to be with you. Once it goes to that level that she doesn't want to be with you, then separate yourself from that, stop making memory with her, and start making memory with other opportunities in life. Then it would be easy. Then you realize that you are in power. It's not that you have no control and she has all the power and she has magically put a spell on you. It's your desire that have put a spell on you and your inability to move on. If you understand that we're all humans and nobody has superhuman powers, and it's only your desire and wishes for intimacy and pleasure is what keeping you not from moving forward and moving on to bigger and better things. All right. Having said that, let's go on to Avatar. Avatar says, oh, okay. No. Stiwazi says, hi, Meran. I wanted to say thank you for the answer in your previous stream. You're quite welcome, Swazi. Remind me of your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. I'd appreciate it. Double A says, sir, some of the message were deleted. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe some words in there. You know, we're living in the era of cancellation and deletion and censorship and control. Whether you're on TikTok or when you're on YouTube, certain things you can say, certain things you can't say, and everything is about community guideline. I don't know who the fuck puts that community guideline. Who gave you permission to create a community guideline about what I want to talk about or what somebody else wants to write or talk about? It's between two people. between a bunch of people? What does it have to do with being controlled according to what they, I don't know, fucking TikTok or YouTube wishes it to take its direction? It's all about control. So I don't know why it's deleted, but we're living in deletion and cancellation era. Nobody can say anything unless it's a narrative that forces and power wishes to be. It's all, we're all going downhill as far as freedom and democracy is concerned. Forget that. For years, the whole world fought for it to gain it, democracy and freedom. And now they're all in it together to destroy it. And they claim, oh no, it's not good for you. What we actually, your forefathers lost their lives for to preserve it and bring about, oh, it's not good for you now. The era that we live in. Most of the dumb shits are ruling the world. All right. Levis Padron says, I come up with my ex. Levis, I need your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from before I get to your question. I'd appreciate that. That's part of our protocol here. So at least I know a little bit about who is here, who I'm talking to, what age, what gender. So it'll be properly orchestrated. Uh, Stwazi says, male 30, Serbia. So I have a question for dating, how to get over the feeling that I'm not good enough. Well, that's on you. You concluding that you're not good enough, looking at things from somebody else's point of view, and because she doesn't pay attention to you or she hasn't chosen you to be the one that she can give pleasure to, romantic pleasure, then you conclude that you're not good enough. What about all the other people, all the other women that you actually are being reciprocated with your feelings towards them? And that they are thinking you're great and you're good enough. They want to get to know you. But you leave all that is in your favor and you only focus on this particular one that doesn't want to be with you, which would signify that you're not good enough. That's the conclusion. One person's opinion and interest or disinterest in you sets out the tone for your validity or how valuable or good enough you are or not. That's on you. That's your lack of confidence and allowing someone who you don't even know who she is, what qualifications she has, if she deserves to be with you or not, suddenly determine the level of your goodness, that you're good enough or not good enough, because she decided to have a different taste other than what your qualities are all about. Isn't that ludicrous? That's on you. So you're trying to look for a solution for something that is totally within your control. Don't think of yourself you're not good enough. Think of yourself that you're great. And whoever doesn't see that, they're stupid. That's how you should look like. Look at it. Move on with your life. Live your life with the standards that you've chosen, uphold those standards, stay true with your values and your policies and lifestyle in life. And then doesn't matter who thinks you're good enough or not. You are living up to your standards and expectations, and that makes you good enough for anybody. And the ones who don't see it, fuck them. They can go and jump in the lake. Tukaz Kowalski. That sounds like a Polish name, is it? Says, hi, Miran. Lucas here, male 34, Poland. Ah, there we go. I was right. Says, how to deal with intrusive feelings of guilt, shame, and embarrassment. How to get rid of them and move on with own life with good and positive attitude. Why wouldn't you? Who is bringing those questions that you just uttered? Who is initiating those questions? Shame. What does shame mean to you? According to what? according some rules and customs and traditions that some group of people, some clan, some villagers, some city dwellers have come to create in order to have certain kind of a narrative ruling that society or certain control of people's behavior that is based on their choosing, that you feel shame about something that you have or have not done. We all make mistakes one way or another, even according to our own standards. What's there to be ashamed? If you knew better at the time, if you could analyze things better, if you had enough information better, then you wouldn't have done what it is that you considered a shame. It was just a bad judgment. There's no shame to it. It was a bad mistake, bad judgment, whatever it was. I don't know what it is. You haven't told me anything about it. The guilt. So, what is the guilt? Guilt towards what? You're supposed to what? Apologize for something that was a mistake you made, or you think it was a mistake with your present standards that you adhere to. And now you got to apologize to people for what? For something that only affected you, or it was only you who were subjected to that mistake? What guilt? You simply understand that we're not perfect, we make mistakes, we learn from our mistakes, and you forgive yourself and move on. But now you want the whole world to know about it, and they bestow upon you their judgment according to their belief and rules and whatever it is to forgive you because before you can feel whole again. The only hole that you would feel would be being an asshole, that you would be counting on other people's fucking judgments to set your system and routine and set your values for you in this journey of life, which is your journey. But you want other people's to give you their blessings for the fuck that you're going to go through, for the whole challenges that you're going to be dealing with, and they will be in their own home and having their own meals, and they don't give a shit about what challenges you're going through life. But if you make a mistake, you need their blessings because you feel guilty. Guilty towards who? I feel ashamed. Why? Because I shed in my pants in the middle of the living room and I have to feel ashamed now. Well, if you could have hold it, if you could have seen it better, that this is a living room, not the toilet, and if you could hold it, you wouldn't have done it. If you did it, it was a mistake. Now you can see it. At the time, maybe you didn't see it. Now you got to feel ashamed rest of your life. For what the fuck? What are you? Aristotle? You make no mistakes? You born, Socrates, and you know everything from childhood, and you need no learning in this journey of life. You're perfect and complete. Therefore, if you make a mistake, you must feel shame the rest of your life, and you must seek other people's forgiveness before you can breathe comfortably again. What kind of a crock of bullshit? This is exactly what the religions and the different authorities in the history have used to control people through your own mind. Throw that shit away and understand, okay, I did this, I don't agree with it, I made a mistake, I was stupid, and that's the end of it. I forgive myself, I make sure I'll never do it again. Done. But you leave your freedom and your sanity in the hands of some assholes out there that they've got so much shit in their own life, but you expect them to bestow upon you their blessings and forgiveness. Ah, Majesty, you who is away from all mistakes in the world, please forgive me, for I'm not perfect as you are. Fuck, they still got to get up and go shit in their toilet, and they're no different than you. They've made mistakes, all kinds of things. So, fuck off and live your life free. All right. Levis Padron, 30, male US. And she says, to add to my question above, so let's read the above. Levis, 30, male US, says, I came up to my ex, we broke up 2 years ago, but have remained friends since then. That's a mistake. About 3 weeks ago, that I wanted to try things again. That's usually what happens when you stay friend with an ex, because it happened before. You could be with her, you could be romantic and intimate with her, so you can see that as a fact, a possibility, and then you stop pursuing other opportunities because this is always here. So why don't I go for, the one that is, I already know it's possible with. And that illusion, not understanding people change, and maybe she's not interested anymore, but keep stringing you along to keep herself confident, and at the same time not giving it to you, frustrates the hell out of you and makes you more thirsty for her attention, to the point that 2 years later, you're still hanging on her ass and hoping that she will look at you in a different way as she did once before. And you're trying to recreate all that past instead of going forward. Anyhow, I haven't said that. Now let's see what the else you have said in here. And try things again. She rejected me, and naturally, the only reason you're there is for her to feel comfortable, so confident, so she can, when she's hit on with the other guys, she will feel, oh, I've got somebody who's after my heels anyhow. So I can be strong. She's using you for that, even if she doesn't purposely necessarily thinks that way. But you shouldn't have kept her around. You shouldn't be have been around her, and you shouldn't have ever asked her to try again. Because why? You already tried, and you guys got to a certain point, and then you broke up. So all those reasons that made you guys break up still exist. The only thing has changed is you haven't had her in a way of intimate relationship for a while, and you're hungry for her again, and you don't remember the stuff that went on and why you guys broke up. You are willing to do away with them all so you can just have that intimacy with her again, because you're suffering from not being intimate with other girls, or at least not. At least this one is hitting you in the face, and you want her to. It's no different. We're like tigers, and you show a little bit of a raw meat, and you expect to be able to control yourself all the time, being friend around the raw meat and not and smelling it and not wanting it. Well, you're gonna desire, and eventually you're gonna ask the raw meat, "Hey, can I have you?" And she says, "No, fuck off." And you should have known it when you guys broke up. This whole business of keeping her around and still staying around is just futile. Frustrates you to the point that you're gonna go and make a fool out of yourself. Not a fool, but you're gonna ask for something that if it was gonna happen for the 2 years, it didn't happen. Suddenly, yeah, she's waiting for you to ask for it. So you set yourself up. That's on you. And she rejected me and said she didn't have feelings for me. There you go. And to add to my question above, she told me she doesn't want me to cut her out of my life. No, cut her out of your life immediately. The most painful part was running into her at restaurant last week while she was on a date. You're setting yourself up. You're hanging around for crumbs, and you should be better than that. You should respect yourself. It was an opportunity. You guys were together, and then somehow, for whatever reason, broke up. Now respect yourself. Respect her choice and respect yourself as well. Move on. But you're hanging around. Obviously, you're going to look like a loser, because she would ask herself. You think girls don't ask these things from themselves? Why this ex-boyfriend is hanging around? And because he's hanging around, but he's not getting anything, then therefore he is devaluated in her mind already. And then by the time you get to the point that you get frustrated sexually and you ask her, or romantically, and you ask her, can we still be together? She's already made up her mind a long time ago that you're not valuable to her anymore, because you're not getting anything and you're still hanging around. That has devaluated you already. Because girls don't think that a guy that is hanging around them but doesn't expect anything is something that they would eventually someday be attracted to. They want somebody to lead the way and set up the environment or their relationship in such a way that is moving toward a certain direction of the romanticism, if that is what they have in mind. But when you take that out and become the pool boy that just comes and cleans the pool and doesn't expect anything else, that's how she's going to think of you, as someone who does things around the house. That's it. Why are you there? If you broke up, why are you there? Girls keep guys' exes around without sex because they want to look and feel confident. So when somebody hits on them, they feel powerful, that they got somebody who's interested in them. And that gives them the fuel of having a good posture in front of the new guy, new date, to manipulate him or to withstand their interest in him to the point that they could have a little bit of control in the relationship. Otherwise, they don't have a real interest in you. They're not keeping you around for someday that it would be the right time. The wine is ready. I have to keep it old until it's right time. No, none of that shit. So that's on you, and you should cut her out of your life immediately, if not sooner. And don't fall for her bullshit that I want to be in your life. She's going to be the first one that she's going to cut you out as soon as she finds a date and she goes to bed with him and she likes him and wants to build something. Suddenly you don't even exist. Don't wait for then. Now, amicably, friendlily, just break off and move on. And you already did try and she rejected that idea. So what else is there for you? She wants to be in your life for what? You have no use for her. What is she? Your mentor? What? Your teacher? You need her to guide you in life? So, what is it that you're keeping around yourself and her together in the same vicinity? What for? See that clear and free yourself and go and appreciate all the amazing, beautiful women and who are willing to get to know you, and they don't have this whole, you know, bullshit of what they've, the image they've created out of themselves, and you've allowed her to create that image of you in her mind that, oh, he's just a guy that I used to go out with, I'm not interested anymore. Well, you should say the same thing about her. That's a girl I used to go out with her, I'm not interested in her anymore. Why? Because for whatever reason we broke up, and that's the end of it. Let's move on to, yeah, don't justify why she's doing what she's doing. She's holding a grudge because she used to be part of my family. She wanted to get married, and I went through mental breakdown and this and that, so forth. Whatever it was, it didn't work out. And don't justify what she's doing now. You don't have a mental problem now, or it's under control. And so you wanted to, be with her. And eventually she said no, and she's still saying no. So that's the end of it. Whatever it was, the story's over. Move on to another girl, but you're trying to rekindle what it was because you're lazy to go build another one. Stop being lazy and go build another one with someone else who's going to see you for who you are, not for whatever mistake or uh, you know uh, lack of um, uh, um, assertiveness that you perhaps had at one point in time, or the direction that you chose wasn't what she was expecting you at the time. Go with somebody else now. Forget it. That was the experience. You learned from it. Now, move on. Don't torture yourself. The rest of it, if you want to discuss, you can go on my site, make an appointment, and I'll gladly discuss the rest of it with you. Otherwise, these questions are good questions, but it takes a while, more than 5 minutes, as you can see. and I'm passionate about all of you guys' um, uh, psychological state, and I get to spend more time that it needs to be spent on a live stream. And Orlando says, "Hi, Meran. Orlando Osuna, 45, Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA. Thank you for that. I broke up with my ex 3 weeks ago, although I know she has very poor values and has made awful mistakes in her life. I miss her personality and the fun we had together. Any advice how to move on?" Well, yes. I just put up a video as part of our previous um, live streams. And here's the link. You can watch it, and that tells you why you miss her and tells you what to do. I guess from now on, I should just quote the videos and put the link up instead of answering questions, because almost all questions have been answered in these sort of topics. And it says, "I hate having developed an attachment to her." Well, it's on you. You don't have to. She's attractive, but she's no good for me. Then it is the sex that you're following, and you can't build a relationship based on sex that eventually runs off its course. And then there's nothing else to keep the relationship bonded, since the sex is now not a novelty anymore, and it doesn't have enough ingredients to hold the relationship true and together. So move on. Don't kid yourself. And Levis Padron says, "Thank you. I love the honesty. I know I'm too attached to the past." There we go. Okay, guys, it's 41 minutes. I think I'll be here another 15, and then I want to go to the forest with my, the hike, and enjoy that. It's a beautiful, tranquil forest. If you guys haven't seen, I made a little short couple of minutes of video on the hike I had yesterday in that forest area, and it's on my TikTok. My TikTok is Mind Seeks. That's my TikTok handle or address. You guys can check it out. I've got lots of political stuff on it in regards to the day-to-day um, atmosphere of a lack of freedom and justice in Canada due to the shitty government that we have and disrespect to the um, rule of democracy, disrespect to our constitution, freedom of our rights and Charter of Rights and the Bill of Rights. So, but however, TikTok doesn't like to hear such voices, and they conjure up cockamamie stuff. And if you just share somebody else's video, they claim there's a music on it when there's no music on it. Then they just mute it, or there's a community guidelines. So I'm now switching towards what I usually do here, and leave that topic to others, because it's not fair forum. You can't even talk about anything that is important. It has to be in line with whatever the TikTok people think or decide for people to talk. How low have we come in this world that we now have to get direction from some fucking organization to tell us what to think, what to say, and what we are grown up to hear and what we shouldn't be hearing? All censorship, Chinese style. So that's unfortunate. Communism, fascism is on the rise, and these are exactly the values that our forefathers fought for, to avoid and to give us the freedom that we enjoyed for years. And now all that is suddenly no good for us anymore. That's terrible. Anyhow, you guys can go on Mind Seeks on TikTok and see the little excerpt, the little video I made of the forest hike yesterday, and enjoy. And I'll put some short stuff on TikTok about our discussions here, so it would be perhaps not get deleted, and I could be in touch with people. Otherwise, I got to start a new account. We are living in funny era. Very, very unfortunate. All right. Looks like we have no other question. So perhaps that's the time we can cut it off and we go about our business today. So it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, don't forget, you can talk to me on Skype by going to www.mindthatseekstruth.com. Make an appointment to have a one on one discussion with me about what's concerning you on Skype. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.